Kia ora, e te whānau. Welcome to a brand new series. This time we are starting to look at the arcade library in Python. If you're starting this, I'm assuming you've got a working knowledge of Python already. You've completed my series on Introductory Guide to Python, a beginning Python series. Or maybe you're coming at to this having coded up a little bit of Python before. You will need, I'm going to be assuming, a working knowledge of basic Python before we get into the arcade library. In order to get set up, ready for the series, you're going to need a few things. First of all, I am working on Visual Studio Code. You can see just down here, this is what it looks like. Your icon might look a little bit different. It works on Windows, it works on Mac, but this is it here. There are a couple of things to do to get this set up. First thing I want you to do is I want you to push Control-Shift-P, maybe Command-Shift-P on my Mac. Whatever you're working on will be slightly different. You'll get this here, and you'll see this little greater than sign. I want you to make sure that your defaults shell, here we go, should see terminal, select default profile. I want you to make sure you're working in Bash. You might see Git Bash, or maybe you're working on a Mac or Unix or Linux, and you'll be able to see Bash there. If you're working in Windows, I want you to make sure that you've got Bash of some sort so that we're working with the same commands. You can do that by installing Git and installing Git Bash as well. That is something you'll need to follow along with us. The other thing you'll need to have to follow along with us is Python, of course, installed locally on your computer. All Macs have it, Windows don't. You'll have to get that installed. And the other thing you'll have to do is, the next thing I want you to do is to push Control-Shift-Tilde, that little squiggly thing at the top of your keyboard, opens up a terminal down here. Ooh, I'm standing in the way. Let me get rid of that. There we go. And you'll see here that I have my name, this is the user, followed by this little $sign. That means I'm ready to input a command, and I want you to make sure that you've got pip working. So I just want you to put pip -- version, and you should see a version number come up there. I've got 20.0.1. You might have something different. As long as that command works, you've got pip, you're ready to go. Next thing I want you to do is pip install arcade. I should already have it, so it will come back and say requirement already satisfied. We already have it. Wonderful. If you don't, it should go through then and install arcade. If you hit problems with that step, work through them and come back once you have pip and arcade Visual Studio Code installed on your system. Later on, we will be working with a map editor called Tiled. You might like to go and get that there. Here it is here. Here's the icon for it. It's available online. It's free. Again, Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever system you're working on, it should work for you. The other thing I will mention is if you're trying to work through this on a Raspberry Pi, which we tried at school, it will not work because Arcade requires some special software that the Raspberry Pis don't have. Hopefully that changes, but just for now, it's not going to work for you. So on a proper computer, following along. Okay, we should be ready to go. We should be ready to set up. And I think I'm going to start our first arcade program in the next video. So I will see you there. Ka kite anō.